Welcome to the intake. Alright guys, welcome back to the intake. This is the final segment entitled Establishing Your Professional Identity. But also I'm going to talk about a little bit about my personal identity. Alright, so there's two questions that I will answer. I'll start with the lighter question. One of which I was recently asked via Instagram, and I'm hoping I'm phrasing this correctly. I have it written down in my notebook off camera. But the question is, how do you maintain your social media identity, but also balance the ethics of that when you're promoting certain things that may seem personal, I guess, or sharing some personal information? And so I wanted to talk a little bit about that. I am a licensed clinical professional counselor and a licensed professional counselor in 2 different states, and we follow American Counseling Association's ethical code, which the most recent one is in print is from 2014. In the latter sections of this ethical code, they talk about social media presence and then give 4 particular domains to address that we as therapists or counselors should follow. And so with that being said, your social media presence, they ask that you separate them. So the woman who inquired follows my PsycYourMind page. Now, my PsycYourMind page is a hybrid, so it is very much the practice, but also I am the service provider, I am the owner. The person is political, if you will, so what you see is what you get. So yes, I am going to promote mental health tenets or research that I'm doing, working on books, pictures of the office, quotes regarding psychology, what have you. But also I want people to understand that I'm a human being as well, and I'm not a robot sitting poised in my chair. So tell me how that makes you feel. I think the media gives us a bad rap, and I'm speaking of TV media, previously over the years of how counseling and therapy is conducted. And so I'm hoping to demystify with my social media presence what that actually looks like. Now, within the ethical boundaries. With that being said, back to the woman's question, my personal Facebook account is locked down, completely private for more reasons than I can discuss on camera, but that is where is more personal to me. That's my more personal account. The Pound Cake and Private Practice Instagram account, Twitter account, all of that, obviously that's public. I'm running a business, thus I'm trying to drive content so that you all can see it and or consume it. All right, so hopefully that answers that question. Now there's 3 other parts of the ethical code, and one of the bigger ones, which is stated toward the end, it's the D. It's like always H.2.D. Or some other letter. Don't quote me on it. But it says that we as counselors are not to discuss confidential information or clients via social media, and that is a big deal. I've seen other physicians or other people in the medical field say, oh, we can't discuss it in real time. As I interpret the code, we can't discuss it at all. So it can be a little too close for comfort, or someone's a friend of a friend, and you're divulging this person's information or something closely related, and that's not okay. So keep that in mind. And also, we respect the confidentiality and privacy of our clients. So should a client follow me and or pursue business want to procure business with PsycYourMind or Pound Cake and Private Practice for whatever reason, I cannot follow the client, prospective client back. I can't follow you back. So there have been times where somebody familiar pops up or there's a thumbnail and I can't Google search you, I can't look you up, I can't add you as a friend, I can't follow you. That is an ethical responsibility of mine. So don't become offended, but when you do that, you in turn are breaching your own confidentiality and saying, hey, Crystal is my therapist, or Crystal is such and such to me. And that's your decision to make. I'm not here to judge you for that or tell you how to do that. So hopefully that answers that question. It makes it very clear. A second part of her question was, have I ever had clients seek me out via social media as far as contracting for services for therapy? And the answer is no. I have had colleagues where that is the case, but everyone seems to go through my website. So I guess the SEOs and all that great stuff, marketing is working. People may be voyeuristic, so to speak, or they may view it. Everybody doesn't always double tap, so know that there are people watching your profiles, but they may be more of a ghost and they see what you're doing. But just make sure you're within your ethical right when you are creating your social media pages across all of the different platforms. Now, the second question is, how do you establish your professional identity, and how did I personally establish my professional identity? I'll tell you a story, a personal one. I remember I was 7 years old in the 2nd grade, and we used to get handouts from our teacher, and I remember writing my name, Crystal. I was experimenting with the initial, middle name initial and period. I've seen it on a lot of authors in their books. And then I was writing my last name, D-A-B. No, that's not right. I'd scratch it out. That went on for months, for weeks, for years. Sometimes my last names were hyphenated. Sometimes I only put my birth last name. Sometimes I only put my changed last name. So professionally, what you all know me as is my married surname, which last name is Joseph. My maiden name is Morrison. However, my birth name is something different. And I remember being so confused and being given names, or a name that was a part of who I was, but didn't identify with who I was. And so I've gone through some legal discourse and having things changed and sealed and what have you for many reasons. But I wanted to share that because your name is something that precedes you. It is what you have when you're born, and it is what will be here when you leave this earth. So when you're branding, when you're signing your documents, our signatures have legal weight. Once I sign a note, that's it. It's medical record, it's legal, it's locked down. And so what's in a name, or who are you, or how do you establish your professional identity? I want to encourage you to think about that and consider that when you're working with clients and when you're out in public and no one knows that you're a therapist, but of course you're carrying the grace and the demeanor of someone who does help someone. Yes, we have bad days. Everybody has bad days. That's okay. But know that when you establish it, you can rebrand, you can revamp. It's fluid, it's liquid. You don't have to stick to it. So just like my name has been changed for self-esteem reasons, self-confidence reasons as a child, for the sense of belongingness when we talk about relationships and communication, but also for the sake of marriage and companionship, know that your business name or your professional identity can be revamped. It can be modified. It can be changed. So don't feel like you're stuck with your original idea. Now, PsycYourMind, that's in stone. That's not going to change. My first name, Crystal, what my mother gave me, that is not going to change. But there have been other things about my signature over my lifetime that's changed. And something that I always tell people is the alphabet soup that you acquire and work hard for at the end of your name, or the salutation at the beginning of your name. Yes, you worked hard for it, and that's okay, but it doesn't make you who you are. So yes, put some respect on my name when you're talking about me and my business and all of that, but know that you take all of that away and you're still Crystal, or at least I hope to be still Crystal to some people. And so my clients understand that there's a level of authenticity about me and a level of transparency about me that is ethically appropriate, and they respect that, and I believe that they are enamored with that, and that is why I have been able to be so successful in outcomes with clients, or in marketing, or the reputation that the business has, because I am the service provider and I understand my role. So make sure when you're establishing your professional identity, you look at the duality of you personally and the professional self, but also the intertwined and the congruence of both together. And if there's a level of dissonance associated with that, look at how you can ameliorate that and dissolve it so that you're a unified presence when you go to work every day, or when you're speaking on behalf of your business. So, I'm in my blue blazer and I got my orange Nikes on, branded. I, put myself on in the words of Jay-Z and some other rappers. So you do what you have to do to maintain that identity as well, but also your integrity. And know that integrity outweighs a lot of things. So sometimes it's going to be a no for certain activities based on your brand and your mission and your identity. And sometimes you're going to be able to say yes to things, or most times, I hope. But I hope that answers the questions regarding establishing your identity. Thank you for listening and allowing me to share my tidbits and my stories, and a little bit of my personality. You guys get to see. If you're not my client, you have no idea what goes on behind closed doors, right? So thank you for joining the intake with me, Crystal Joseph, owner of PsycYourMind and author of Pound Cake and Private Practice.